This is Bogus Dave's First Crime Spree, Book 8, an illustrated true story of humorous teen mayhem by David Champney. Bogus Dave's First Crime Spree, Book 8 by David Champney. Improved, but still inconsistent, illustrations and coloring, hand-drawn by David Champney. Copyright 2026 by David Champney. All rights reserved. No part of this book may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means electronic, mechanical, photocopying, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the author. Warning. Do not attempt to recreate or reenact any of the activity in this book. It could result in injury or death. It could also result in serious consequences from law enforcement agencies and or officials. This book is meant for entertainment only. One afternoon, Bogus Dave had just got home from summer school when the phone rang. It was Frank. "What's up, Frank?" Dave said. "There's a trailer with a couple of three-wheelers for sale at the Army-Navy surplus on Hackett. Want to go check them out?" Frank asked Dave. "Hell yeah, come get me," Dave said excitedly. "Cool, I'll be right over," Frank responded. Frank picked up Dave and they headed back to the other side of town to scope out a possible theft. "How long have they been there?" Dave asked Frank while they drove up Liberty Avenue. "Not sure. Just saw them today with a for sale sign on them," Frank told Dave. They parked on the side of the building and walked over to the trailer out front. "These are awesome," Frank said as he checked them out. "We definitely need to come back tonight and snag these," Dave chuckled. "All you got to do is pull this handle like a lawnmower, then a little throttle, and you're good to go," Frank explained to Dave how to start them up. "Cool. Ron's going to freak out when we pull up in these things," Dave laughed. "When we come back tonight, I'll hang at the park up the street, watching out," Frank told Dave as they got into his car. "Okay, when I get one going, I'll cruise to you. We'll fly back here, you jump on a second one, we fly up Liberty, back to Ron's," Dave chuckled. Later that night, Frank and Bogus Dave drove to Ron's house, parked, and then walked to the park up the street from the Army-Navy surplus store. "If you see anyone, just yell. I'll meet you back at Ron's house," Dave told Frank. I'm gonna climb in the tree. No one will see me. I'll get a good view. If you gotta take off, go down the alleys," Frank explained to Dave. Frank watched from the tree while Dave snuck up to behind the surplus store to scope out the three-wheelers. Coast is clear," Dave chuckled to himself. Dave ran out, cut the straps, and rolled a three-wheeler off the trailer. He tried to start it up. Brum, brum, brum. Damn! The three-wheeler stalled. Dave ran back behind the surplus store just in case. "Ugh, stupid bike," Dave was frustrated. Dave ran back out front and tried to start the three-wheeler again. Brum, brum, brum. "Come on!" Frank was sitting up in the tree watching Dave try to get the three-wheeler. What the hell is he doing? Frank laughed. Meanwhile, Dave had made a third attempt to start the cycle. It stalled again. He was getting frustrated and mad. This is nuts. One more time and then I'm gone. Dave was getting angry. Bogus Dave ran out to give it one more try. Hey! Came from across the street. Huh? Dave looked up in surprise as he quit pulling. As soon as Dave heard somebody across the street yell and start up a vehicle, he took off. Hey! Come back here! They yelled again. See ya! Dave ran off across the street. Frank watched from the tree as two guys drove a truck over to the three-wheelers and got out. Then watched Dave running through alleys towards Ron's house. Who the hell is that? Frank laughed, just watching what was happening. After 5 blocks, Dave stopped to catch his breath. He decided to hide out till he saw Frank. Whew! Oh, my God. Dave laughed as he caught his breath. After about 10 minutes, Dave saw Frank walking up Liberty Avenue. Dude, you were flying! Frank laughed. All I heard was, hey! I thought, I'm out of here. Dave laughed back at what had happened. Bogus Dave and Frank started walking back to Ron's house. By the time they pulled up to the three-wheelers, you were long gone, Frank chuckled, explaining to Dave what he had saw. I couldn't get the thing to stay running. It kept shutting off, Dave told him. It might have been a shut-off switch on the fuel line or something, Frank explained. That sucks. I wanted to be racing three-wheelers back to Ron's house, just flying up Liberty. Dave laughed. One day, Dave found one of his dad's big pipe wrenches still in the basement. Him and Larry decided to go out that night and open up random fire hydrants. Why are we going behind Telfer Park? Larry asked Dave. If we open hydrants that are kind of isolated from view, they'll go running longer because nobody will see them, Dave explained. Oh, okay. That makes sense, Larry chuckled. You'd be surprised how many fire hydrants are in weird locations around here, Dave told him. Bogus Dave opened up the hydrant behind Telfer Park and they watched it spray water. Swoosh! That is loud, Larry laughed. Dave just laughed at all the water spraying everywhere. They walked over and opened a hydrant behind Northgate Mall. Swoosh! You know what would be funny? If we could turn a hydrant into somebody's house through a window, Dave laughed. Larry laughed along with him, thinking about that crazy idea. Dave and Larry walked over to Aldridge Junior High. I never realized how much water those things could spray out, Larry just laughed. Yeah, the city is going to be pissed tomorrow, Dave laughed his ass off. They opened up the hydrant behind Aldridge Junior High. Swoosh! What about that one behind Robinson Elementary? Larry suggested. Oh, yeah. I always forget about that one. Nice call. Dave chuckled. Bogus, Dave, and Larry walked up Northgate Drive and opened the hydrant by the back entrance to Robinson Elementary. Swoosh! The whole field is going to be soaked, Dave laughed. Larry just laughed at all the water spraying into the soccer field. Cranston Avenue was under construction. It was dug up from the railroad tracks all the way past Robinson School to the Northgate Apartments. Dave and Larry opened up the hydrant across from Stop and Go into the construction. It's going to be a big muddy pool right here, Dave and Larry just laughed. It was almost 11 p.m. Larry and Dave had a fun time opening hydrants and decided to head home for the night. See you later, Larry said to Dave. Yep. Dave waved and walked back to his house. The next morning, Dave and his little brother were eating breakfast when Larry called. Hey, what's up, dude? Dave asked. Dude, the hydrant by Stop and Go is still going, Larry told him excitedly over the phone. No way! Dave laughed hysterically. For real, I was going to the gas station on Prairie. It's flooded all the way up to the apartment buildings, Larry explained to Dave. That's awesome, Dave yelled excitedly over the phone. You can see orange construction lights blinking underwater, Larry told him. I gotta go check this out, Dave said. I ain't going near there for a few days. Those dudes are going to be mad, Larry told him. Bogus Dave and his little brother quickly finished their breakfast and hurried over to see the construction site flooding. That's a lot of water, his little brother chuckled. It's like a whole new river. The city is going to be pissed. Dave just laughed, looking at the lights blinking underwater. The hydrant ran from about 10:30 p.m. till about 9 a.m. the next morning. It flooded almost a quarter mile of road construction and took over a week to drain. Then the city had to dig everything up and start over.